everybody, it has been a while since I checked in on my herds with everybody about my herds and trying to mingle them all together and switch them up. And so I just introduced Katniss, my little 3-year-old Mustang filly, or mare I guess, to her first big pasture, and it is actually wire enclosed. It's got a top wire of hot, then 3 strands of barbed wire, and the bottom wire is smooth wire. Is this my ideal fencing? Absolutely not. But sometimes we do what we have to do to make things work. And when we moved on to this 9 acres back in 2014, we had to put down all this fencing, and our budget was wire fencing and T-post. And everybody does really well. Have we had some mishaps? Absolutely. Just like you would with any other kind of fencing. So you do the best that you can. I hot wire all of my pastures so that my horses respect whatever fence line I have. So Dakota and Katniss, as many of you already know, are my heart soul horses. They are my main partners. Dakota is my partner now, and Katniss is my up-and-coming partner. I just moved Harry and Gino back into the pasture over there, and beside them is Dream and Perone. My intent is to mingle all 4 of those into one little band. It's not really a herd, it's a band. Gino and Perone and Dream used to live in this big pasture. And my goal is to put those 4, Harry is the newcomer, my goal is to put all 4 of them back into this pasture. And Dakota and Katniss, along with Indy, a little kill pen rescue mare who's super sweet, are all going to reside up there where there's a double shelter. So what I'm doing is I'm letting the 2 pairs get used to each other with the fence in between. Harry was a bottle-fed Mustang, removed off the range when he was 5 days old. And the interesting thing with Harry, he's now 2015, so he's now 6. And the interesting thing about bottle-fed babies, whether they are domestic or wild, is if they are not put in with older horses early on, like, you know, as soon as it's safe to put them in with an adult horse. Like Gino has always been my adult babysitter. So had I had Harry when he was 3 or 4 months old, he would have been living with Gino. And Gino would have taught him herd dynamics, would have taught him social etiquette. What Harry is lacking is his flight instinct. He has a very strong fight instinct, but because he's just so playful and he's not mean, it's more like bring it on, you know, the tough kid on the playground, because he's never had anybody clean his clock. I mean, Gino can make him stay his distance and mind his manners, but he's never had a horse that really taught him flight response. And interestingly enough, we all assume that that is a natural instinct. And yes and no. Because he was raised around humans, and humans were his caregivers and his companions. Look at my girls down there in the pasture. Katniss must be checking out the inside shelter. But anyway, back to Harry. Because Harry never had anybody teaching him healthy boundaries at a young age, he has never learned flight response. So it's dangerous for us, and it's sadly, I mean, Bruce and I both manage Harry quite well, but it's dangerous and it's a pain in the butt because he doesn't respect that flight, like the human means get away. So I'm hoping that DreamCatcher, who is a very strong alpha mare and was in the wild until she was 3 or 4, I'm hoping that when I combined her and Harry together, that she is going to teach him about flight response. Because every horse that I have ever put Harry with, other than Gino, he just kicks their butt. I mean, he doesn't hurt them. He's just a bully. And he's learned how to get up alongside them and position in a way that they can't kick him, you know, side kick him. He'll try and mount them. He'll bite their backs. I mean, he's relentless. However, Gino, who's running, running Dream off, no, who is that? That's Perone, running Perone off the fence. Now, Gino has known Perone since the day he was born and hit the ground. So it will be interesting to see him get mingled back into this herd. But we're trying to bring Harry into the herd and do it in a way that he's not bullying everybody. So our other option, if Dream does not succeed, which I have all the faith that Dream will. She's a very strong alpha mare, and she won't take any crap, especially if Harry decides to pick on her baby Perone. But if that doesn't work, we have Apache over here who is just over the sagebrush, the first horse standing by the water trough. He's a bay. He is still very strong stallion-like behavior. The only horse that I've met that can keep him in line is little Miss Asha, who he resides with. My last resort is to put Harry and Apache together and have Apache teach him about respect and fight response. And I don't really want to do that because it's gonna probably be a little bit more ragged than I want to see. So right now we have Indian Troubadour up at the upper training area. We are having problems with Troubadour. He came to us, I believe he was a bucking bronc horse that injured his hip or hips in performance, and that's why he was sent to slaughter, and we rescued him for slaughter. He's never fully accepted us as his humans. He has always remained very afraid of everybody. But the biggest problem we're having with him right now is that his hip is giving out on him. So I am sad to say that we are we are going to have to put him down because it's getting to the point where it's hard for him. And when a horse has hip problems, it's really, really tough because that is what they use. Hi, baby girl. That is what they use to lay down and get up. So that's the update on Mr. Troubadour. We've had him almost 3 years. He still is very hard to handle and catch. You can't do anything with him. You can't vaccinate him. You can't deworm him. It's hard for the farrier, but now his hips are giving out. Hi, baby girl. How's my beautiful girl? This is Miss Dakota, my little soul horse, and then here comes little Katniss, my little heart horse. Together they make my heart soul team. Anyway, so the plan is when we do put Troubadour down, we will go ahead and introduce Indy into my heart soul herd that will reside up there. So guys, that is the update on my integration. So far everything has gone really well. I'm not quite done. The reason I'm bringing these two horses, Dakota was in Colorado and lived on several hundred acres with a herd of horses, so she understands barbed wire fencing. Dakota has never been. Katniss has never been. I would rather introduce Katniss to this kind of fenced enclosure when things are calm and cool and collective, because as you can see, our valley is full of smoke. And should a fire come where I have to remove my horses and take them to a safe place, I have no idea what kind of enclosures are going to be there. And I need to know that I have set every single one of these horses up for success to be able to safely reside in any temporary enclosure that I put them in. So I am prepared for all of the people who are going to want to have negative comments about having horses in wire fencing and all of the dangerous things. And let me tell you, I have seen plenty. I started my veterinary technician career out over 30 years ago with a large animal vet. And let me tell you, I saw some pretty horrendous wire T-post, metal panels, no climb fencing, injuries. So yes, this is probably the least safest enclosure. However, I don't want you to be misled that your horses cannot tangle themselves up in panels, because let me tell you what, I have seen some really gnarly accidents in panels just like this one, where the horses not only had to be cut out but had to be euthanized. So please do not think. I have seen horses get themselves stuck over no climb fencing, like the fencing, let me see, I'm in the sun so I can't see, like that fencing dividing that pasture up there. I have seen a horse try to jump it and get high-sided, and nobody was there to help them, and their hind feet were off the ground, and they literally, let me zoom back out, they literally cut themselves right along the flanks here from that wire. The wire did give to a certain point, and then they sat there and kicked their hind legs and struggled with their front legs until they did some pretty damn serious injuries. So yes, I understand about wire fencing, but please understand that their horses are horses, and nothing is bomb-proof. Nothing. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. I love that you guys all follow Heart, Soul, Confidence-Based Horsemanship and our journey, all my wins and all my failures. Remember, there's no such thing as, oh gosh, what am I saying? Failures are not a bad thing. Failures give you the opportunity to dig down deep inside, find that courage and that strength and the determination to get back up and do it again. All right, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.